The empire's on the run.
Why are the so-called liberals so
Alex
racist?
Jones and the GCN
Why did they get
Radio
away
Network.
with pushing the racism like Al Sharpton? Alex Jones here with a very important announcement. A lot of you asked me to come speak in your town or city. I would love to, but I'm so busy here in the trenches at the InfoWars Command Center, I'm just unable to travel. When my friends at Stansberry Research, one of the top analyst firms in the world, invited me to be part of a special one-day event in Dallas, Texas, I could not say no. You will hear from true experts like Porter Stansberry, T. Boone Pickens, Cactus Schroeder, Bill Murphy, Van Simmons, and myself, Alex Jones. I will be speaking on the fact that history is happening now. We are now at a critical juncture where more happens in a month than happened in the previous 10 years. I will also be breaking down the fact that a moral society is the only truly prosperous and safe society. May 31st, it's one day. The tickets will sell out. Simply visit AlexJonesDallas.com or follow the banners at Infowars.com. I have secured a discount for my listeners when you visit AlexJonesDallas.com. Again, that's AlexJonesDallas.com to secure your tickets to this one-time event, and I'll see you in Dallas. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Patriots are still angry over a federal appeals court ruling in February that upheld the school's decision in 2010 to make 4 boys go home, turn over, or take off their American flag T-shirts out of concern for all students' safety. The boys wore the shirts to a school Cinco de Mayo celebration during what was a high point in racial tension at the school.
And so who knows what's going to happen up there.
The biggest concern now is over outside groups coming into Morgan Hill to support the Patriots. Conservative radio host Jimmy Z has broadcast it nationwide.
I know some people who are thinking about driving down from the Bay Area, driving down from Oregon, and driving across from Nevada.
And there have been violent messages posted on conservative websites.
There were general threats, basically saying that if there's going to be riots, and basically let them riot, Patriots need target practice.
High school parent and attorney Juan Lopez plans an alternate rally by his group called We the People. Now students are speaking out, asking all the adults at a recent school board meeting to stay away.
We all need to just let it go.
Morgan Hill police say they will have a contingency plan in place. They'll bring officers in on overtime and seek mutual aid from other departments if needed. In Morgan Hill, Len Ramirez, KPIX 5.
Now, the threats to students were posted anonymously on a nationwide
Yeah, I guarantee you can go find the illegals and people making threats. I mean, I can go down to the Cinco de Mayo parade, and I've done this, and we have video of it, and it became national news, and it's in my film Battle for the Republic, an extra, a short film I made that's on the Film Endgame DVD, where we show the shirts that say the plan of San Diego, that is to kill all gringos or all whites, according to skin color, not even surname, above the age of 16. The German government actually financed that during World War I, and the attacks were launched in South Texas. You can look that up for yourself. It's actually, the attacks were launched in the Big Bend area and other areas on the Texas border. And you're like, but the Germans are white. Well, the Germans actually ran Mexico for a while, the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and they sent over one of their princes to run it and show there's an exception for Germans. The railroads in Mexico got built by Germans. The beer, that's what Dos Equis was, a German brewer that came there and made it. And that's why it's German beer, basically, German lager. Tastes pretty good, too. But the whole point is that there's a major German influence in Mexico that is exempted from all of the kill the white people stuff. That's why you'll see a lot of people from Mexico with German first names like Adolf or Alois or things like that. See, I happen to know about the cultures. I've studied it. And again, I'm sitting here watching all over the country. This is just some small town where you can't wear an American flag because people think it's so offensive. So Mark Dice went out and, frequent contributor to Infowars.com, Mark Dice, media critic, went out and asked Obama supporters, is not liking Mexican food racist? And I've told the story probably 20 times since last year when I was at Barton Springs and saw two Hispanics and a white guy who were obviously stoned out of their minds. And you can tell when somebody's been smoking a bunch of weed, laughing and giggling and wrestling around in the water. And I'm laying on the grass like 15 feet away. And they're like, man, I want some Chinese food. Let's go up to that. And they go, and the one Hispanic and white guy to the other Hispanic goes, shh, that's racist. So for the general public, just talking is now racist. Knowledge is racist. Having an opinion is racist. Discriminating and saying, I don't like the TSA grabbing my testicles, that's a discrimination. Discriminating that you like this brand of hot dog better than this other brand. Now, all forms of discrimination or being discerning is now bad. You do what the media says. As it changes day to day, you'll be politically correct. You'll be safe. But if you do anything, including knowing how to read a book, it's like Idiocracy. Look, this guy can read. Aha, we can't trust him. It's weird to be informed. It's bad to be informed. And this is the plan. Bring in predominantly Latin American population that has a beef with our government that's done a lot of bad stuff in Latin America. Blame that on the American people. Make every source of evil be Anglo in nature. The Anglos then respond by being guilty and self-loathing and self-hating and politically doing whatever they're told. Turn the guns in, let the state run your kids, don't wear American flags. That's all offensive. Wells Fargo has announced taking down American flags. It's offensive to their supporters, to their patrons. The big banks announced years ago, we've shown the articles here, Bloomberg and others reported it, Wall Street Journal, that illegals get to have bank accounts with no ID or a consular matricula that you can get out of a Cracker Jack box. The consular matricula, the leader of the Republican Senate years ago that I had on from Colorado, was able to get 5 of them in one day himself. He doesn't even have a Spanish surname. So a citizen, if you're Hispanic, black, white, or Asian, or mixed as they call it, a human being, you go into the Bank of America or Wells Fargo, you got to show multiple forms. You're treated like a criminal. Your kids go to public schools, they got to have clear backpacks because, you might have a weapon. You're all learning how to be prisoners. But if you're an illegal, there's all these things done to incentivize you coming here to do what? drive down wages. You're given corporate concessions so that you will work for less. Basically, it's just like Walmart encourages their employees to have pay so low they duly qualify to go on welfare. And Obama said last year, he said, hey, go on Obamacare, get your hours cut from 40 down to 30, go get on welfare. You will then be eligible for welfare. And now businesses, big corporations, it's in the news, tell their people, go get on welfare. This is your supplemental income. This is the domestication. So China is meant to deindustrialize our country with wages and conditions that we can't compete with. Mexico brings in a population that we can't compete with because of the government kickbacks, the government systems, and we can't compete because our power plants are being shut down. Now, there it is, BizPac Review. Media advises people to work less to get Obamacare subsidy. In the San Francisco Chronicle, people whose 2014 income will be a little too high to get subsidized health insurance from covered California next year to start thinking about ways to lower it to increase their odds of getting the valuable tax subsidy. See? And soon, folks, people aren't going to know how to take care of themselves. It's game over very, very soon. That's why the government's setting up currency controls, domestic controls where you can't get out of the country with your money even after tax, or where they can claw it back out of Luxembourg, the Bahamas, or Switzerland. Not money you took that didn't have taxes on it. The money you paid tax on, they're saying we own all that money. New article just went up on Infowars.com. Patriot Group protests Cinco de Mayo ban on American flag T-shirts. First Amendment organization characterized as racist. That's right, folks. Showing up, black people, Hispanic, white, you name it, with American flags is racist, according to NBC. That just broke. And I want my reporters to go out. I told them, go to the store, buy an American flag. I know we've got some around here anyways. Take it down and ask people. Maybe buy a bunch of little ones at the 5 and dime store or wherever. Go out and ask people, is this racist? Do you want one? See if people will refuse them. At the Cinco de Mayo parade coming up, what is it, 4 or 5 o'clock? Will you guys look up what time the Cinco de Mayo parade is today? And again, folks, I'd like to have Cinco de Mayo be a holiday. I'd like to feel like I was welcome at a lot of these things. And I'm not saying there aren't some of these Cinco de Mayo events that you're welcome at, but let me tell you, it's a racial, cultural event that is now decidedly not about overthrowing Spain or Mexico getting independence. It's now about hating gringos. And let's just be honest about that and get it out on the table. Because it's not racist for me to point out that that's going on. We're grabbing that video right now that just went live at Infowars.com that we just tweeted at Real Alex Jones. So here is Mark Dice's report. I want to play this from the start, but there's a juicy part where people say it's racist that Joe Biden doesn't like Mexican food. Now, I'll tell you what it is that Joe Biden doesn't like Mexican food. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a Yankee. And folks up north didn't grow up around a lot of spices, so it tastes bad to him. And I love Yankees. Great people. I love people from California, too, as long as they don't want my guns. I love people from Mexico. As long as you don't want to force inoculate me and make me my kids take Gardasil shots so they get sterilized, as long as you don't want me to drink fluoride, listen, I want you to have guns. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, who you are. I want you to have guns and private property and raise your family and be free and be red-blooded and be manly and be feminine and all the traditional role models that are under attack scientifically. We're being overwritten with this false culture. But if you don't like me because I'm white, I have no guilt, and I'm not going to kiss your butt, and it's not some weird economic advantage. I'm not in a gang where I want to be part of the white gang, or I want to be part of the country club gang, or I want to be, I mean, imagine wanting to be with the government gang because they give you tax exemptions and some handouts, and the government tells you you're Hispanic, you are the God race, you are that's Mecha. If you quote it from Spanish, it's basically the divine God race. We have the former mayor, Gus Garcia, somewhere around here actually doing a city proclamation that Hispanics are the supreme race. You think I'm